is a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Clear that neither of them wants to be in the corner. Does not want to get stuck in the corner. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. Responds to the jump with one of their own to drop it. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Player 2 takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Grabs him, takes a trip. That's a counter. Experiencing burnout. Each hit is so important here. A critical situation for both fighters. Neither fighter. Ooh, double KO. You don't see that every day.
Final round. Fight.
Immediate jump in. Up for the arrow. Connects with the throw. Still scrapping for control of the space. Impact squashed. Excellent block to shut out the impact. Both avoiding the wall like it chases them down. Player 2 is in burnout state. A very precarious situation. Raw super art incoming. Jump! What are they? Solid anti-air. Rushes in. Great job in escaping that corner pressure and moving back to center stage. Excellent block. Player so solid with the mixer anti-air. Any throw. There's a burnout. A jump in, throws him. What now? Now they can whip. They're wide open. They didn't take the throw. Player 1 comes out on top of that fierce battle. Talk about a show. That match had it all. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that good round. This is leading to big damage. Jumps in. Experiencing burnout. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. They need to hold out. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. Knockdown. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Player 2 is almost dead, but some clutch drive moves and a few prayers could turn this around in their favor. Experiencing burnout. Player 2 in trouble with no drive. Takes a trip. Player 1 takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Both fighters planning something? In there! Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jumping. Who's going to start things off? Burnout activates. Dashes up. Blocks the impact. Goes for the super art. Jumps in. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is going on the offensive. Even fishing to get leader is risky in this game and may affect how they approach the neutral. Resource management is the key to winning. They are really going at each other this round. The reads they make now will be key. Burnout dissipates. Okay, here we go. Throw is denied. Jump! What are they? Clutch anti-air. The next touch made this huge chance after that wall strike. Finds the target. Player 2 can't use any traction up with the throw. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Match. challenger.
Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of.
Simple and clean. Round one. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? He tries to bait him with the projectile. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. Knockdown. Still slugging it out here. Takes him all the way to the corner with that. Well-timed corner switch. Life lead opens up.
Oh yeah! Sky high!
With the life gap opening up. Where is their opening? Burnout activates. Going on the offensive? Player 2 has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still within range to win this round. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Safely increases their in there. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump-in to start. They exchange blows. Player 1 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. It's going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their ground game. Risky up-close scrap still going, experiencing burnout. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. Out of drive gauge. Now is the time. In your face with the SRK. Not much life left, but their drive usage makes it just goes for it at this range. Are they thinking about how to steal pay? Oh. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Reshid. Final round. Fight. Coming through.
Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? We're just getting started experiencing burnout. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. In with the cross. Excellent jump in. Crowns him from above. Arabian Cyclone. Good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. Okay, here we go. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Now they can use ground. Burns out. What now? Player 2 is looking at a grim situation with burnout. This is gonna hurt. Connects with the throw. Big time whip. Player 2 is in a very good putting it all on. Player 2 can't use any drive use. Gotta play it safe.
Skyward. Sky high.
Getting a food for thought. Player 2 clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that. It's not over yet. Just believe it's time for that run back. The parry. Barely blocks the jump. Burnout activates. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. They need to hold out. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup? Takes a trip. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Absorbs the attack and fires back. Throws them to negate the block. Taking stock. Takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Going in, player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have its charges forward. Player 1 will look, finishes it with the anti-air. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
He tries to set the tone with that charging attack. Experiencing burnout.
Oh yeah! Coming in! Coming in!
Oh, whiffs the throw. Player 2 needs to goes for the super art. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Wrong pawn takes them off their feet. They exchange blows. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with the meter advantage. Gotta be careful not to whip at the big time whip. They must have a game plan here with a critical up threads it cleanly. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Fight round. Fight.
It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. That feeling out phase is over. Time to get down to business. Burnout activates. Okay, here we go. Player 2 is in burnout state, but there's a super art to show up what a PhD and fighters can do for you. Nothing stops this train. Player 2 is in a very good spot now. So solid with the mixer anti-air. Player 1, make one a finish. Player 2 is a force to be reckoned with.
Here comes a new challenger.
We're about to see a mirror match go down, where they can match each other move for move. This is the hardest kind of match. Who will come out on top? Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Tries to throw, but doesn't connect. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Can they outlast it? Coming through. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Takes a trip. Life lead opens up. The grab misses. KO. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 1 had an impressive round while managing their drive gauge. They'll want to carry that momentum into the next round. Okay, creating some space here. A good chance here to recover the drive gauge or figure out the next step. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. The order makes it hard to... burnout activates. What'll happen here? Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Grabbing it out up close. Are we going to see a comeback here? A quick breather. Drops them. KO! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight.
Jump reads the jump in perfectly.
Great desert.
The super doesn't hit. Burnout activates. Player 2 is in a very good spot now. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Player 2 is looking at a grim situation. Burns out. Taking chunks out of each other here. Overhead. Connects with the throw. Goes across the bar. Rushes in. Sets up with the jump in. Player 1 can't... Oh, come on, kid. Why would you use the super? Player 1 can't use any drive boost. Gotta play it safe. 5 hands of game are done. Player 1 clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that.
comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. All right, first round. What's going to happen? Tries to throw, but doesn't connect. Difficult situation for a throw. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. They need to hold out. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Shoots off a fireball up close. Player 1 chases them down. Life lead opens up. Solid throw tackle. KO. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
It scores a counter hit with the OD mixer. Burnout activates. Big throws. Hits them with a stop and fight. Super Reshid kick to make their extremity single. Can they keep on? Player 2, they're going for the super arc. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Still slugging it out at this range. Are we gonna see a cup sets up with the jump in? Amazing! Player 2 can't use any drive moves. What a finish! Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Sky high. Saihasho did well to get the buff in there. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. Knockdown. Pressuring the situation with the charging. There's a punish counter. This can lead to something very big if they can capitalize. Neither of them willing to back off here. Hit them with a stop and bow. Did well to get the buff in there. A throw to tie the bow. They were stuck in the corner.
Come on.
Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Fight.
Opts to create space to start. Who's going to start things off? Won't play their game. Says no with the overdrive tension. Parries the attack. Are they trying to bait a throw? They may have something up their sleeve. Player 2 will have to deal with this danger. Just goes for it at this range. The super doesn't hit. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Breaks the block with a throw. Player 2 will look to apply pressure to it. They can't squander this punish counter chance. Triggers the feng shui engine. Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whiff punishes. Player 1 took no time to finish that fight.
Great match. Great match. Here comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Hit one in the pocket.
Pay attention.
Player 2 with the life lead. Trips him up. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue the fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Will this super arc connect? Taking stock. This is gonna be bad news. Player 1 needs to use KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Elite aerial Tatsu blocks the impact. Flashes him. Experiencing burnout. Zones with the fireball. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout. They're going for the super art, the Dragon Lash Flame giving them a side switch on top of the damage. A quick breather. Their life is hanging by... just goes for it at this range. The super doesn't hit. And they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the deal. Both absolutely refusing to give up ground. Flatline zone. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight.
This is it. Who's gonna take it all? Player 2 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. The Dragon Lash Super hits home. Player, this will lead to some big damage. What's next? Takes them up. There's a burnout. No! Stunned off the wall! Okay, here we go. Player 1 is in a very flatline zone. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? The low kick connects. Picks up some damage with a long-reaching attack. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. Knockdown. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? What's up? Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Neither of them willing to back off here. Throws them to negate the block. Player 1 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. Finishes with the throw. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jumping. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Player 1 kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. Good job escaping that dangerous corner situation. But experiencing burnout. Knockdown and follows up and tags on the lightning kick barrage. Both fighters planning and whips. They're wide open. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. A jump. There's a burnout. Both sides getting ready. Critical art is on deck. Show from heaven. What a finish. Player 1 was an absolute beast in that match. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. They can open up this round big by converting this punish counter. That's how you capitalize on an opponent's mistake. Get the punish counter by waiting for the opponent to whiff an attack and then strike without hesitation. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. They need to hold out. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Recovers from burnout. Smart throw, that'll do more damage than usual. Timely side switch there, which will let him go on the attack. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Knockdown. Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Goes for it all, but just in there. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jumping. Are we going to see some fireworks here? All that effort for so little payoff. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. Long low attack hits. Can't tech the throw. Takes advantage of the hesitation and gets some good damage in return. Both fighters have a full... burnout activates. They choose to spend the meter to up the damage. Critical. What's gonna happen? Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Chin, wheel, ripper.
I've had enough.
Oh wow, look at the damage that did. Fantastic work with that combo. One player is in burnout state. Is it time to end this? This is a critical art now. Both of them back off. They may be preparing. That's how you close it out. What a beast!
Final round. Fight.
Start things off with a jump in? Player 1. Ooh, what a smart throw. Escapes with a reversal. That throw's gonna take off a chunk of damage. Hits them with the counter throw. Player 2 with a slight lead. Curls them from above. Player 2 is looking at a grim situation with burnout. Back into the corner. What setup do they have? Player 2 tries to secure a finish. Player 2 is a force to be reckoned with. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Jinrai kick for a mix-up. Potential takes them up. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. There's a going to switch. What's the play here? Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. Can they outlast it? Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. This is a real back and forth match we're seeing. They definitely know what the other is capable of. Throws them to negate the block. Drive gauge finally recovers. Neither of them willing to back off. Reaches out with a lightning kick. KO. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. From up above. Digs in deep to get that drive in. Punishes though with the drive in. Really laying on the pressure. Uses their drive to maximize their damage. Hits them with a stopping block. Burnout activates. A quick breather. Both bends the meter. Hoping for a good return. Going in? Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Sure you can? Both fighters planning something? The overhead cannot! Raw critical! What's gonna happen? Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Closes it out! Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight? Come on.
No mercy for you.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Jump in, finds the mark. Deal some damage with that quick combo. Decent damage. What's next? Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. The combo's there. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Player 2 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. And a KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight!
Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a hits him with a stop and pop. Player picks a good spot to use the super. Shoryuken barely blocks the jump in. Pops him with a Shoryu. Both fighters planning something? Overhead. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Noticeable likelihood. Just goes for it at this range. That's not gonna hit. Threads it cleanly. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. Trips them up. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. They need to hold out. Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. Let's see how they apply their corner pressure in this situation. Drive gauge finally recovers. Nice solid counter. Taking stock. From up above. The throw missed! One combo can end this round right now. Reverse edge cuts and finishes things off with authority with that big punish counter. Player 2 with a big first round pickup. Can they close it out? Immediate jump in. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Player 1 can build off this lead. Aerial Tatsu. They exchange blows. Burnout activates. Knockdown and... Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This uses the gauge for a super. The Dragon Lash Flame giving them a side switch on top of the damage. G-right kick for a mix-up. You got a solid anti-air. What'll happen here? A raw critical. What's gonna happen? Just what they were after. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight!
Backdash to start. They're not taking any chances. Delivers the pain right to their doorstep. Player 1 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Kid hits them with a stop and pop. Takes them up. What now? Player 1 with the rhythm owning that space. Back into the corner. There's a burnout. Amazing. Only the best of players can come back from this. Flatline them. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Fighting round.